limits our space. So it may be on limited time while we're here. So what will happen with this location, every location we go to is going to have a little bit of a different format. So even if you've done this before, every space now literally has a different format. So this one, I'll give you the history, and you guys are all spread out, and I'll do 1 or 2 round robins, probably maximum of 2, just based on the amount of cars that are in here for the limited space. And I'll be taking a lot of notes, and I'll regroup us to give you all of the answers. Speaking of which, communication devices, once I let you guys loose, I will not be giving you guys questions here, like what color was George Washington's white horse, like what we did over there with the big red barn. We'll be getting the answers from your communication devices, and I will give all of you focus questions to be able to work with. So where are you? You're in a parking lot. Congrats. This place used to be something. It used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. The mansion sat in the front of this space. It's really sad that we got a bunch of cars parked where this people's home used to be. So Logan, you might want to lower your camera so people are going to be driving by. We got 2 cars leaving, which is super great. So Eliza and Charles had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 Chucks, in case nobody was paying attention. That's why we look for secondary clues. I need to know which one is coming through for the secondary clues so I know how to address them. You guys are seeing my point. We're going to be talking about a lot of people from the 1700s and 1800s. They all had the same damn names, and even in the same spots. But the son and the nephew, signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. Big deal for us, but I hate politics. We're going to move on. If I don't give the gentlemen their recognition, they will do it for me in a nasty manner through a spirit box. I've seen it dozens of times, so I just learned to give them their recognition, move on, and talk about Eliza. Eliza is going to be our focus. She's the mom and the aunt, I guess, so to speak. Now, Eliza married Charles at a young age according to today's standards. I say it slowly because communication devices, if you guys ask how old Eliza was when she got married, do not expect numbers from the colonial days, from basically like 12 and 14 when they got married at that age. Think of today's standards, because the husband is over double her age when they married. It's creepy then, it's kind of creepy now. We'll just kind of put that out there. But Eliza married him because her father was over in England, and he thinks he's dying. The father's trying to bring all of his children home so he can see them one last time. Eliza didn't believe he was dying, so instead, basically, she stays put and gets married. It's that simple. It's 1744. You don't get married in that particular year to earn a green card. We're not a country yet. There's no such thing as a green card. This is a true love story, everybody. Nothing horrific goes on here. Just to kind of put that in everybody's mind. This is a place of respect, if nothing else. So, moving on. She was correct. Dad did not die right away. And instead, he started sending her gifts from England to where you're standing. One of those gifts he sent over happened to be the plant seeds of indigo. That's a plant that makes blue dye that makes your blue jeans blue. I don't think anybody here is wearing it tonight, by the way, but that's how we use it. But when Eliza got her seeds, no idea what to do with them. She had to learn from her servants and slaves how to keep it going, because it's not always hot here, regardless of what you Northerners think right now, right? But anyway, she learned how to keep it going, and then learned how to make the dye right here, and then moved it to a cash crop plantation down by the Stono River. And, excuse me, got a hold of her dad overseas, told him that the rice plantations are going downhill. They were going to make a killing with the indigo. And now we have an international businesswoman during colonial times. Something absolutely unheard of. So,
is this the same Pinckney family that gave them the market? Wasn't that the same family who deeded the market, the free air market?
Yes. It is the same family. So, many years later, but yes, the same family.
Yeah. Okay.
You're on the same, at least the same family tree.
Gotcha.
So, now, communication devices, I'm going to be going through and giving you guys focus questions. Like I said, you can either say these things out loud, or you can just focus on them. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I'm here every night. It's not like she doesn't know what the hell we're going to be asking anyway. So, Barb, we'll start with yours. Your device only gives us 1 to 2 syllables at a time. So, you're going to be focused on the mansion. So, the mansion's not here. What happened to it, and then if you get a what, we will often get 2 or 3 numbers from the date of when that occurred. I want you guys to all keep in mind we have 3 cameras running plus my voice recorder and multiple different communication devices. If you're asking me a question, show them I get the answer. We never know where it's going to land. That's why all the spirit box folks are going to be telling me all the silly things that you're hearing in real time, because you don't know who is asking what. And if you go rogue, there's only 3 rules. Don't ask about the kids, no yes, no questions, be respectful. It's just that simple. I'll explain about the children before we leave the space. Next communication devices are going to be Bob's and Ellie's. They're going to be working hopefully in tandem. You're going to be looking for Eliza's initials of ELP in that order, no rearranging, and you're going to be looking for what Eliza's maiden name is that starts with the letter L. for the rest of the group that may not know this, the Eliza I just told you about is literally the second wife named Eliza from Charles back to back. The first wife also had a maiden name that started with the letter L. So that's why Bob is going to be looking, which Eliza are we dealing with? So far, let's count them up. We got 3 Charleses and 2 Elizas. There are more multiples at this location. You'll see why as we kind of get through it. 2 red spirit boxes. So that would be Emma and Michelle. Am I getting the names right? Have I screwed up anybody's name yet? Perfect. Did I screw up anybody's name yet?
No.
Perfect.
Nope.
You're going to focus on her death. 4 major questions we get answers to. How old were you when you died? What did you die from? Where are you buried? And which president was a pallbearer at your funeral? Notice that all of the questions I handed out have a direct answer.
40?
No. But did you hear the number 40? Did you get the word art, by the way? No? Okay, so it wasn't arson. All right, so that's all of the questions to be handed out with all the communication devices. I'm going to keep Ellie behind with me. We do have some people like walking through the lots and trying to get to their vehicles. Just be mindful. Where we came in the lot is the only entrance and exit for these cars to get in and out of, so just be cognizant of that. But again, if you have a camera, it should be up and running already. And I'm probably going to go to Jamie next just to kind of show him a few extra tips and tricks about that particular camera, and that'll give the Spirit Box people a chance to listen in. So yeah, let's spread out. Let's stay out of the muggles' way. And they're going to ask you guys questions anyway. You guys all got blinky like devices. Like, what the hell are you guys up to? So yeah, spread out. Let's have a good time, and I'll be with everybody in just a minute. He keeps handling the camera. It's very sensitive. That's why I say try not to handle the camera when it's in there.
Oh gosh, we're gonna see that later.
Already on record. Exactly right where you're at.
This POA started going.
Yeah, just wander. I'll be with you guys in a minute.
Big
And
whatever.
Go ahead and get unmuted if you haven't already.
And
How do I know if I'm on?
I was like, oh
It
wow,
takes like 10
oh wow, and then
seconds for it
stopped.
to warm up, so just tap it once.
POA. So I was like, oh, sorry.
Like, what was laid off that where I was now?
You're in. There it is. You're good.
Okay.
All right, your device, we're going to crank up the sensitivity at this point. I turned it back over there because the 2 electrical poles will make it go off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That made sense
Mhm.
because they started going peak. And I got excited.
Whenever you want to start, like if you get a full row, it's going to start overwriting itself, giving you false positives. We don't want that.
Okay.
So basically, whenever you get a full row, take this green dial and turn it back counterclockwise, and then go back over to 1 o'clock. So again, it's just a quick turnover. If you go too far, it gives you faces and all kinds of yes, no, stupid crap that we don't use. But again, once you get a full row, if you don't see anything in there, and again, tell me any words that you have that are 3 letters or more. Don't give me like 2, as, if. Like, we don't need that shit. It's garbage.
Why does it say mag?
Because it's coming from an electromagnetic field.
Okay, that makes more sense.
This is your sensitivity below that. So in between spaces, we do our parking meters. We'll make it go off. I'll say turn this back about a quarter turn.
The sandwich is growing.
Just about a quarter turn, just a little bit, so we don't
just
get
had
too many false
sandwich, not
positives.
growing.
And then you'll crank it back up once we get into the actual space.
Okay, and there's nothing else I need.
That's it. This is your main one. You're going to do it dozens of times tonight, just so you know. You're not going to see much. And again, you might get 1 word tonight. You might get 30. I have no idea. Oh, look at that. We got some extra space. Perfect.
Yeah.
Got a big one.
What do you got?
I got a 25.4.
Nice. That's your new baseline.
I also got a big 111.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to, that's your new baseline. 24.4 and 11.5.
It's growing.
You don't need to follow me. Like, literally don't follow me. You have to do your own thing. That's what you have to do. I know that, but you have to go do your own thing.
I'm not going to. I'm following you. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
You have to, like, go video shoot. I gotta ask questions.
This is looking so simple. Yep. Walking around. What the fuck was that? Especially if these stupid people ever took their trash out. Wow.
Every once in a while, it's going to come up and say, "Hey, Barb," and it's going to be clear as day. So you're not going to hear nearly as much.
Sounds like someone told me he was
What was mine? It was ELP? ELP? Why is a little bit yeah, something. That was the truth. Yeah, that's what I was asking. Yeah, my cuffing. Q. Relax. Huh? Not say that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Because I do the same thing. If I know, like, if I listen to some funkin' notes, if I know what the lyrics are, I got to be able to hear what I just heard.
Right.
They're screaming.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I do know it. That's what's kind of good knowledge.
Julia, did you ever get anything higher than yours?
Yeah, my highest so far has been
Got a 17.
37.4.
Wow. Were you close to They'll want that.
No, I don't know this stuff at all. I just broke into stuff. But
Stairs. These are cool.
At A and B right now. M.
on the bone here.
Okay, please grab it so I can hold it.
You're taking it with you?
Yeah. Okay.
You're carrying it.
That's what I just said.
What thing is this?
Arizona sweet southern style, and I added a little water in it.
Sour.
Yeah, I agree, but I like Arizona.
That's bad.
No, it's not.
That's bad. What else is it?
I'll take a high look into the direction font, but on the shelf center of the book, sometimes high will probably not be full. Possibly because it was a direct relation.
I got win,
High is
like W-I-N. They win something.
nope. That's why I want you to stay
I
close.
don't even know what I'm looking for.
That way, his camera per
Huh?
audience. This is picking up his audience. Stay close to him. That's it. You have it still. Awesome. Is that your guys' truck?
Yeah.
No.
No, not at all. Wink.
Oh, that's literally your truck?
Yeah.
Let's see. Any other numbers in there?
I got a 27.6.
I'll take a 27.6. Julia?
My name is John.
That.
I got 58.5.
Bad move. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Thought they were turning in.
Alright, 27.8, 58.5. Alright, let's rein this one in. There's a lot of weird mixture of things going on here. So, how'd you word those ones? You got it.
During the wind, dawn,
8.
8. The last.
I don't think I have like these 3 parking spaces. This is kind of funny. Normally I'm like all over the parking around, so thanks for saving me the steps, everybody.
Have you been playing soccer?
I have not. This old guy does not play soccer. So, I'm excited about the 58s, and you guys had a couple of 20s in your readings, so let me kind of explain what those are. We did get all the way up to a 58. That was the highest one. That's actually, this is me excited, everybody. I'm not a TV show host. I'm not going to be and by the way, if you have a camera, you can hit those stop buttons, give your hand. Very careful with it at this point. The cord's been a little on the touchy side. I even swapped out the cord this morning to change the charging port. So Barb, let's go ahead and get you on mute again. Did you hear anything along the way?
It was hard to hear anything, like I was hearing things but not anything I could hear.
Okay. Other spirit boxes, what else did we hear?
I had teen, good timing, center, that's what it says. Savings, I put my hands up in Philadelphia.
90%.
I like Philadelphia and Center. Those are the 2 that stand out to me the most.
Oh, I had one. Comp.
You have what?
It said cop. COP.
Like
COP.
it. So at least they gave us something so far.
Yeah.
Elias mean anything to you?
Last 4 or 5 terms. What do we got going on in there?
Wasn't a whole lot coming back. Disease, Brace, Elias,
Can we tell him
and Elements.
Challenge? That works while we're here. Alright, Barb, I'm used to listening to that, so go ahead and put it on mute, because if it's not, I'm going to be focused on that instead of why we're here. Philadelphia makes sense in the center for sure. When did you get disease? Was it closer to the Pinckney Mansion or closer to here?
We were just coming through the alley.
Okay, so still closer to Pinckney. So
Yeah.
again, if we get the word cancer, which has been showing up more and more, then obviously the disease and cancer actually tie up to Eliza's death. So I'm pretty okay with that. Right now it's pretty vague. I want the verifier. But welcome to Philadelphia Alley, everybody. So this place, yeah, that's the name of it. It used to be called Dueler's Alley. It was named Philadelphia Alley, just in case you guys were wondering, because we had to rename it after Dueler's Alley because dueling was illegal. So we named it after a city that helped us out of one of our many, many fires. It just turned out Philadelphia was one of them. That's why it's called Philadelphia Alley. So the fact that she heard Philadelphia, and I know your ears perked up the minute I said Philadelphia, that's kind of like, all right, I better explain why it's called Philadelphia. But Dueler's Alley is the reason why we're here. Again, we're going to be in here, and I'm going to stir things up. And Logan, I believe I hit record on your camera. So now, when we do have other tours in here, you're going to try to get a viewpoint going one way or the other. So Jamie, the easiest way for you, because there's nobody down there, is just to grab that top handle and hold it at your side like it's a suitcase. That way you get to pay attention to us too. So you don't necessarily have to pay attention to the camera. Actually, believe it or not, you can actually get a more steady picture if you're not paying attention to it. I know it seems weird, but that's how waitresses are able to balance all of those glasses. They're not staring at them. So it's kind of the same principle. Don't need to keep it in the center of the circle. We do want to try to get an angle going one way or the other of the alley. So best way for the other two cameras would be actually be on this side if you want to, since there is a group on the other side of the way we came in. So it depends on wherever you guys want to go. Just trying to give you guys the best opportunity for the angles. So remember that Julie and Sarah, you guys are looking for an 8 or above while we're here? What'd you get?
I've had an 8 since we've been standing here.
Nice. Okay.
This
Believe it or
thing
not,
needs
that's
a
actually
bigger
pretty rare.
screen.
We don't normally see a whole
I
lot.
think the last time we didn't have anything.
What do you mean the past 3 times you probably didn't have anything? Because it's more than likely we won't get anything. But
Don't you forget about me.
yeah, he knows I'm not gonna forget about him. So here's why we're here. Well, this guy follows me around. I was actually going to take this out of my route, but this guy literally shows up from every stop moving forward because his story's been told for the past 40 to 50 years, and I'm bringing the only people that can actually communicate back to him. Also, every place we go to is going to be near a place of raised emotion for him. So it all started to make sense when I started to see the subtle breadcrumb clues all around town. And I'm like, oh, that's why he lived here. That's why he came from there. That kind of mentality. So this location, I've decided just to keep it in. This tour is probably going to pass through us, just so you know that's coming down the alley the way we came in. We'll just split the seas the way we split that other tour and kind of let them pass through. They're going to be telling the same story that we are, by the way. I'm just going to give you different details because we're ghost hunting. We're not on the campfire and work over this tour.
Have fun.
Alright, so
So ironic.
Oh my God, you're just walking by.
Goodbye. Just as you just popped up.
wow.
You're magical, man.
I'm telling you, I don't put those words in. What came up?
Divide, just as we
And
parted.
so did the walk on by part of the same song.
Can't make this shit up, guys, I promise you.
Funny.
So I will be writing that one down because it does coincide with
It's
him.
funny.
For sure. It is. That's life. This is what happens for me. So I hate to say like I know I'm not like showing like full laughter, but this is again I almost expect things like this from this guy that comes out of this location. Here's why we're here. The Dueler's Alley piece. That's why we're all here. They're about to tell the same damn story. I'm just going to give you a few extra details for all the communication devices. Here's how it goes. The doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. The 2 people listening to the spirit boxes, at this point, if the song Brown Eyed Girl shows up, it's not coincidence. It's part of his name. We get it all the time. It's him saying hello. But I think he already has between the 2 little correlation pieces we've already had. But anyway, Dr. Ladd moves down here from Rhode Island. So, where's my Ouija board device? Ellie?
Yes.
Look for the letters
For
R.I.
I.
for Rhode Island.
Okay.
So he moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancee Amanda. Amanda just inherited a lot of money from her dead parents. She has an attorney helping her out with all of the cash flow that she just received, and the attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after her money. So he tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor, and he comes here to Charleston to prove that his coachman. Somebody was walking by and knew him, and the person walking by was named Ralph Isaacs. Do those initials sound familiar to you guys? Rhode Island. That's exactly why Ellie has a device that she's using. I was getting RI all the time on regular spirit boxes, so I bought Ellie's device, so that way I can verify it. We've had it about 7 or 8 times in the past year, so only on Ralph's name, not the Rhode Island. So now I know who it belongs to, because we might have Ralph down here too. I know, right? This alley gets very warm. Moving on. Ralph tells the doctor, I know this guy, the coachman. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me, man. I got friends at 59 Church Street, and they'll rent you a room. You'll be safe. Doc took him up on the offer. They became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. She gets wind of this, and she's moving down so they can be married. And Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. This is the reason I was going to take the story out of my damn route, because it's a giant cliche. I hate cliches. Every haunted city you're ever going to visit is going to have a cliched whistling ghost. We all have one, and ours just happens to be a doctor. Moving on. Dr. Ladd is, well, there's a reason why we're in Jeweler's Alley. I haven't told you about that part yet. We're getting to it. I had to give you the intro. Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together, but they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets better seats. So on the way home from seeing Richard III, they are arguing over the new actress they just saw. Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph didn't. And then Ralph starts insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island, and it got really ugly between the two gents, and they go their separate ways. Ralph goes to his friends at the newspaper and places an ad, telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of bullshit. Doc saw this ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Jeweler's Alley. I want everybody to keep in mind that this argument started over an actress. It's kind of a dumb argument, and somebody's going to die over this. So they came down, back to back, took 10 paces, they turned, Doc points his gun in the air, shoots. Didn't want to kill his friend, just needed the courage and the bravery to show up to the fight. But Ralph has his one bullet still, puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc fell to the ground, his friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later on November 2nd of 1786 after refusing medical treatment. I'm going to point out 2 things. First off, it's 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different back then than what we know of them now. And secondly, he's a doctor. He probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself, but he failed because obviously he died. Now, every tour that comes down here, which is all 338 of us, we all come down here. Yes, there are 339 ghost tours in Charleston. They all come down here and they're telling their friends, like their guests, to listen for the whistles. We have 3 cameras running in my voice recorder. If we're going to capture a disembodied whistle, it's going to be on one of those 4 devices. However, yes.
There's a song where it starts with a whistle and it came out like some 80s song.
Yeah.
Some 80s song came on, just the whistle part.
It was The Patience from Guns N' Roses. I can almost guarantee it. So,
I don't know yet.
Now normally, if we get the whistle, there's normally the word doctor that comes immediately from a commercial thereafter. Almost like, doctor, it's the whistling doctor. I get it dozens upon dozens of times. And I'm actually going through this recording, just so everybody knows, I'm not looking for this stuff. I listen to minute 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever pops up in that 1 minute time frame, that's what pops up. I can't tell you how many times I have doctor, dozens that have been coming down here. So just take that for what it's worth. Yeah, oh, every rose has a story.
No, it's not that one either.
It's on the recording. We'll get it later. So, if you're going to try this on your own, and you're going to walk all the way through here with the voice recorders from your phone, just know that every local knows the damn story. So anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street, we all throw a whistle down this alley. It's just something we do here. I do have a few disembodied whistles that I can't debunk on like much slower nights. So take that for what it is. But I've actually been kicked out of here. I can't take you all the way through here, which is why I'm telling you to do this shit on your own. So let's talk about how I got kicked out, because that's the fun part of the story. And then I'm going to tell you about the next place I've been kicked out of, because that's the reason why I had to change up the next location. So the next location, I would normally tell you a big, giant, long pirate story, and it was super great, and I can't do the pirate story anymore. But let's talk about how I got kicked out of here first. There was a wall up this way. So there used to be a wall. Before this was Jeweler's Alley, halfway between us and Cumberland Street. The reason why is because this was called Cow Alley. So the reason why they call it Cow Alley, all the livestock in the city of Charleston was down here. So cows, goats, chickens, you name it, it was down here. I'm telling you this because that means the bricks on the other side are older than the ones you're standing on. Those bricks down there are sun-dried bricks for slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child down there, fingerprint swipes, and others. I used to take my groups all the way through for a history lesson. Nothing paranormal about that brick. You already know how I feel about cemeteries. That's the last place you're going to find the child that made that handprint, just so you know. However, November 26, 2020, my entire group of 10, same size as you guys, all huddled around the damn brick, waiting for something to happen. I'm trying to shoo them along because I know nothing's going to happen, and we're standing outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm trying to be respectful, not realizing I was out of bounds for tours. I'm still new at this. So, the new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter, who was on the tour that night, thought it was hysterical because Dad's getting yelled at, and she thought it was great. We moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't work on Thanksgiving. I don't work holidays. Thanksgiving primarily because I used to work in upper management for Walmart. You guys fight over towels on Thanksgiving. You scarred me for life. I'm never working another Thanksgiving in my life. You got the point. So the next day was the 28th. I called my partner that I had, and I told him what happened so I could figure out what happened and what to do next. And he basically said, dude, you're only allowed to go down halfway. He was laughing just like my daughter was, by the way. I'll just point that out. And he said, you got to reroute them. But what I told the group was, I don't believe in the next story because I've never had anything happen there. I'm into vampires, not pirates. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating, but somebody heard the name Anne on a spirit box. It was going to be Anne Bonny, the famous female pirate. I took them around the corner, told them what I knew about piracy in Charleston. Somebody else heard the number 300. I didn't know what that meant. I wrote it down. Again, this is the fun part for me where I get the research. Turns out, we were there on November 28th of 2020, and Bonnie's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720, the exact 300-year anniversary of her piracy. Yes, I was kind of like, well, damn it. I was actually quite pissed because pirate stories come from pirate lore. That's a lot of research. Pirate lore was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy. That means whenever you guys found something, that was a lot of books for me to read to be able to verify it. So, we will not be doing, obviously, the pirate story tonight. We are going up and we're going to be doing a whole new experiment with Logan's camera. That's why it's important that I get that thing up and running again properly so that way we can get the proper footage because we're going to be dealing with an apparition at that location. It's another very popular stop for other ghost stories because they normally end there based on the apparition that could appear before them, and there is a photograph that will be involved. Of course, if we have to wait, I will give you the story ahead of time, and then we will get Logan and all the other, both other cameras up there to be filming in that area at the same time. So in the event we do capture the apparition from his camera, I'll know how the other two cameras react with full-blown apparitions. So this is kind of an experiment for me and you guys at this point. Not to mention all the spirit boxes, including yours, Barb, will be, while we're working and they're filming, you will be unmuted and listening in. Because we're going to take over that whole little corner of the space and kind of see what we can get. And then I will explain our last two stops because they are completely different than what we've been doing from the entire night. So, any other major craziness that I need to know about? I did get a whistle. I got to write that one down.
I had a few things. I don't know if it's anything related, but I ticket. I had just the words "me down," low, 55 miles an hour. Around the time you were talking about the like the room that the doctor was staying in, I got "no, no, no" in a song. I got the phrase "beyond the world," California, the road, and
I'm only writing down California just because your guys' spirit boxes love to predict like the next person on my tour, and I don't know who they are. So if there's a name that pops up around that from a recording, I might, let's say it's Nick, and she hears the name Nick. She's like, oh, it's your name, super great. Then we have California, and I have a Nick from California on tomorrow night's tour. I usually see that like 10 to 12 times a year.
yeah.
So again, I always write down the weird things that we normally wouldn't hear from a South Carolina radio station. Any numbers, Sarah? Nothing other than an 8? Julia, nothing out of yours? Any other words, Bob?
Nope.
All right, let's get out of this hot ass alley. If you have a camera, you can keep it running if you want to. We'll go up around the corner. If we have to wait, we'll stop them while I tell you the story, and then we'll go up and record through that cemetery. Let's get out of this hot alley because you all have listening foreheads. It's hot as hell out here.
We're not done yet.
You might drop the call herself.
It's my boyfriend, so I can do that.
You might drop to embarrass him. How about that? In front of everybody.
You ever done anything with Strawberry Chapel?
Not yet. But
Or what about the lantern with the train out in, I forget where it's at.
Somerville?
I think so.
It's not there anymore because they put a road there. Like it's a neighborhood now.
You can go sit in the middle of the road with your lights off and you can see it.
So I did a podcast promo with another podcast, and they actually are from here. They invited me because they know Strawberry Chapel pretty well and can actually get me in, but they want to do the investigation with me. And then, of course, they want to invite me back on their podcast to get to talk about it. So I kind of promised them that I would wait until they get back to me about getting inside and doing all of the things.
I've always jumped the fence and everything. And...
apparently they know somebody, so I'm going to go with the legality way of doing it.
Oh, yeah, of course. But I mean, I've seen some shit there.
Louis.
One time after our tour over here, I don't know when I came back over here, I drove through here, and I remembered the whole story, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should come go through here.
I didn't realize
And then I was
that
like,
was
no.
the church that we were at.
That's
You remember?
to remember things. That's bad memory.
What, between St. Philip's and here?
Yeah, I guess I didn't put the
Correlation together.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to go over there, but it looks like there is a line. So we're going to go over like where it goes on, and you guys are going to have a seat. I'll cover the history first.
I remember this place.
Yeah, we're
'Cause
not
that's-
allowed in there.
Oh, that's this place?
Have a seat, everybody. Just chill out. We're going to talk about why we're here and what we're going to be doing. Have a seat. Did we hear, see anything along the way? I know it was a quick little 3-minute walk. We got anything?
Back in black.
Back in black.
I have 400 and may not be able to replace.
Wow, interesting. Barb, anything? Okay. Oh, interesting faces and yeah, I can see that. Alright, so there is a line to get over there, so we're gonna basically cover all the next 2 locations of what we're gonna be doing while we're here waiting. Yeah, this is a Friday, 4th of July weekend. This is the reason, another reason why I like telling this story all the time is because it's very popular. You guys can see that. I'm probably, over the next few weeks, going to be looking for a new space once I get through summer to take place, because normally we would be inside this lot right here, but no tours are allowed in there, and apparently that guy didn't get the freaking memo. But this is normally where I would tell you about Anne Bonny, and you guys would spread out like what we did at the Pinky Mansion style, and I would just do my Ron Robbins. So back in black, and what was the other piece that was heard?
Oh,
400
I had 400 and may not be able to replace.
Too big for me. I can't even see that tying into anything around here.
Why can you doing this?
So the lot essentially is, because we have kind of a map that we have to follow, like where we are allowed to circles. You can do that. We have had anomalies from both of your cameras while we've been here. Those of you with communication devices, so that would be Ellie and Bob. In the event that I'm not getting any answers out of the 2 young ladies on the bench, hopefully it's going to come to your devices. It's okay to tell me which words you have coming through, and if they're being spelled out, just tell me the words so I can stay focused on the conversation. We've had triple-digit EMF happen here, so just kind of keep that in mind. I definitely want you guys watching those EMF meters for sure. So we did get, I think it was like a 12 or 15 here the other night, which was, we don't get them often, but when we get them, it's exciting. And again, we have had triple digits. Here's how this story goes. This was the new spot for last year. I only had 2 people, month of November. That's usually what happens. Everybody cancels because it's too damn cold. And the young lady with the spirit box for the year 1828 and the name Henry. I was using the word list that Bob has, because that's what normally happens when I have 2 people. I use here too. Yes, it's still very warm out here. Our temperature has not changed 1 degree since we've been out here. I'm sure Sarah could tell you. Because what's it tell you on the bottom?
84.1.
I think that's exactly what it said when I gave it to you. But anyway, so I had the name Tim that showed up on this guy. The bus behind me is Henry Timrod, born in 1828. Like a hot damn, there's my ghost. That's an easy one. So here's how his story goes. He's a writer. He's sick for most of his life. And being born in 1828, he can actually go out to fight for the Civil War for the Confederate side. He goes out there and his comrades realize he is too sick to fight. So they send him home knowing he was a writer. Oh my God, the noise. Go home. Seriously. They sent his ass home and said, go be the voice of the war, man. They knew he was a writer. Go tell people what's going on out there.
Man, he's taking a piss.
Probably one of those pub crawls. You want to buy out with that somebody should does it. So I will tell you that our sessions, when this is going on, are usually not good. Or go to the other side of the park. Yeah, I live with the pub crawl all day. Henry came home and started writing poetry about what was happening on the battlefield, and he became known as the Laureate of the Confederacy. Pretty big title in the writing world. Now, what'd you get? There was a lot of assholes walking by. Did I say that out loud? I sure as hell did.
Hey, I'll say it louder, don't worry.
So, He has a son a couple years after he's doing pretty well for himself with his poetry. The son's name is Willie. He's born on Christmas Eve, but he did die 9 months later. That's the last dead baby of the night, I promise you. That was 3 tonight, just in case anybody lost count. So, very sad. And him and his wife Katie are mourning, and Henry's not writing as much. So he has a buddy of his name is Paul Hamilton Hayne, and he offers him his cottage in Columbia. It's in the middle of our state. He says, you can use my cottage and get back on track, leave Katie, your wife, behind to mourn with her parents that we're here visiting. So he goes out to this cottage, and that's where he wrote his last words. His last words were, a holder of great mortality, which basically in today's world, today's language, means dear person with a short life. And then he coughed, and it landed on the page in a blood stain. He had tuberculosis. He died right there, age 38, pen in hand. Perfect way to ready to go. Wait, there's more. That infomercial, because we are here in the middle of the night. So, we're here because of the bloodstain, because it looks like a man writing at his desk. They show this one day a year at the Charleston Library Society, but you have to be a member of the society to be able to go see it on Halloween only. That's the only day that they show it. But the internet's beautiful. I'm going to show you what the page looks like. This damn water sprinklers, hopefully that's not spraying our guest over there on the bench.
They're over there.
They might like it.
I know.
It
it's
might
not
feel
really
nice,
good right
yeah.
now.
We're in the line of fire.
We are, aren't we?
There's one on that corner.
So, our blood book looks just like this. This is exactly what we call it, is the blood book. There is your blood stain.
That's big. How'd they know it was a cough? Like it was a number?
Tell,
Did they
splatter.
test it?
Yeah, well, it's got the splatter, and they probably analyzed it. Yeah. So, I don't know that they would have analyzed it the exact same way that we would analyze things today, because it was 1850. So, take that for what it is. Now, when we do get over there, I will tell you that just a few nights ago, I did have a psychic on the tour, and she about begged me to do this session, and I let her sit over there. She knew nothing. Best session I've ever had. She used the white noise, because I made it go as fast as it could possibly go, because she's familiar with the spirit box. Everything that came out of my mouth, she had a rebuttal. At one point, she was mocking me. She had no idea what ghost we were looking for. She's called out that name twice, like mocking me, because I was saying, Henry. Can you ask this? And then she go, here we go again with the Henry. Like, it was an amazing session. Probably about 40 answers. Like 40. I normally count 4 as success for 10 minutes. Like, we had about 40. It was ridiculous. So if you start to see things like, here you are again, or things like that coming out of their mouth, like, I'm going to take that as, like, he is mocking me. He does not want me here poking the bear. But I will explain, like I always do, we're here to spread the story of your life. It is sad, but noteworthy. So, let's go over and talk to Ghost. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Do it. You guys all exchange TikToks, Facebooks, all that good stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Alright. So glad that the pub crawl that you guys didn't join. Good job. That walked by. That was probably a pub crawl. No. Here's what to expect. Did you figure yours out? Perfect. Did you figure yours out?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, let me see. Let me make sure. Awesome. Good job. Don't put anything on yet. I'll take yours and kind of explain to the people listening what to expect. Again, if you're too loud, they're going to tap you on the shoulder. I'll just call somebody over, tap you on the shoulder. We have neighbors, don't piss them off. Try to keep your voice in a nice, even tone. If you're not loud enough, a family member will lift up your earmuff and say the word louder. They'll kind of keep things nice and simple. You're going to repeat everything you hear as you hear it. So if you hear it, say it. It's just that simple. And that includes yes, no answers. You don't know what I'm asking. That's the beauty of this. So you're going to have your spirit box loud enough where you can't hear me. We will do this for 10 minutes, no longer than that, unless of course things are going really well and you guys are perfectly fine. I don't write anything down during this to make sure I'm gauging your breathing. This can be very overwhelming for certain people, so I make sure I keep track of that, and I'm ready to go to bring a family member in to come and help you. So, Mike, you're going to be seeing an image from time to time over top of a galaxy. You're going to see a moving galaxy so you don't fall asleep, and then every once in a while a picture will show up in front of that. You're going to briefly describe what that picture looks like, because they're going to be talking over you, and they don't know that. So kind of keep that in mind. So ladies, let's get those blindfolds on, headphones on, and then turn your spirit boxes up to where you cannot hear me, and I will test to see if you can hear me. I'll ask a few silly questions. Mike, I'll just set this up. Now when you get in there, Mike, if it's blurry, there is a dial right here where my thumb is. You'll be able to move that to put it into focus for you. And everybody's different and you usually have to use it. So. Okay, ladies, can you hear me? What color is a blue banana? Perfect. It is 10:59. And all you'll have to do, Mike, is look straight ahead. It will align with you. Just so you know, it might be like on your left or right at this point because of the way I was doing it. But it will align with you in a second, and then you can just focus in. Perfect. What's going on? Henry, if you're here with us, I would like to know more about your job. We're going to start off the way we always do, nice and easy, coming with respect, like I always do. You may not think so. But Henry, tell me about your job. What did you do for work? I'm trying to. Oh, it's not. Hold you up. Is that better?
Oh yeah, much better. Thank you.
That's my mistake. Apologies. Henry,
The greatest.
are you planning to be the greatest at what? You've never done that
They
before.
pass you by.
Started.
We have started, Henry. Tell us about your work. What did you do? You got that thing recording? You can just hit record and keep it at your side. I'm fine with it.
So
Those
Nick, although the
stories.
image is got very bluey and green, stuff like that.
Can you make out what is it just abstract?
It's very full of everything. It's kind of like, I'm not sure how it's done.
On social media.
Didn't she just say delete app?
Follow.
Henry, these are not terms that you should be using. Probably not things you fully understand about our technology. Just try to find words that you would recognize to be able to describe your work. What did you do for work? Keep it simple, Henry. Tired of me being here, just tell me.
Available.
Are you the only spirit here with us tonight?
President.
Did you bring somebody else with you?
Health.
Did you bring the doctor? That's a yes/no question.
I messed up.
Okay, try again then. Henry, did you bring Dr. Ladd with you? Dr. Ladd's house is literally right around the corner, everybody, in case you're wondering why
Or
I'm
a
asking about him.
timetable.
Timetable.
In this position.
Henry Timrod, I'm looking to speak with you directly. Tell all other spirits to step away, please. Let's focus on you tonight. Dr. Ladd's here. He can give us his code
On
word.
Monday.
No, it's Friday. We're going to talk to you now. Dr. Ladd's here. You can give us your code word, but that's it. His code word is purple, everybody. So in case you see that on one of the word generators over there.
I don't want.
Or am I going
Major
right
League
now?
Baseball.
Henry, back to your work. If you want to talk about one of your family members, we can do that too. But this is Mike. He's looking at the blue box tonight. You can give us images. I'm sure he would like to not be staring at the galaxy all night. February image.
Solid gold.
Henry,
There was a guy in charge.
who was the guy in charge of America during your time? That would verify that you're here. Who was the president? You guys don't know who I'm talking about, right? Civil War?
October 22. 4th of July.
Whoa. The son died October 23rd. It's a close but no cigar.
Can't imagine leaving.
I know that you haunt other spaces too, Henry, and I appreciate when you do come down to talk to us, but can you give us something a little bit more specific?
65. My back.
Trying to remember the year of Willie's birth, everybody. I want to say
Whoa. I see his face.
Describe the face. The main feature that I would look for on
The
a
nose.
is a
1879.
does your face have any facial hair?
I didn't see any facial hair.
Lies, lies, lies.
Lies, lies, lies.
That's where I go.
Oh,
Henry?
and now it just
He
keeps
drew
coming
his
back.
sword.
You got about
Fine.
line?
Yes.
What do you get?
West.
Overnight.
Henry, we're going to wrap this up. It's been about 10 or 11 minutes. Can you tell us goodnight?
Twisters. Servants. 5-5.
Henry, we're going to wrap it up. Tell us goodnight, please. Henry going once.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
40 years.
I see a woman with lipstick and a red dress
Shout out.
with a kind of a crown or
Lean.
some sort of hat.
West Wing.
She has a lot of makeup on, red blush on her cheeks, some kind of necklace on her neck.
Henry, who is this woman in the picture? Can you tell us?
It's almost like in a frame. It's a picture. I see the frame.
What's the time frame?
Oh, it's going.
So what was the time era for the dress, so to speak? If you
It was
have-
very old. It was definitely 1700s,
Oh,
maybe even older.
okay, Henry going once.
There is more
Okay.
inside.
It's weird how they toggled tonight. I was worried about her in the beginning, and now she's quiet. Henry, can you give us something a little bit more specific before we wrap it up? We're way over our time. The therapy session is over. I charge by the minute.
All because you let him.
Let him what? Clarinet. $500.
Henry, be more specific. Going once. Going twice. Alright, let's tap these ladies out. Mike, go ahead and peel that thing off the face. Nobody get up.
Oh.
I don't need baby giraffes falling on the ground. However, next to your volume, you have a little button next to your volume wheel. Click it in the opposite direction. It'll turn your machine off. That way we know that the last time on there is from this session. Go ahead and hang on to it until I collect.
Sorry.
We're going to take a look at Mike's images. We don't need to on that one. It's not recording. So Mike had a total of 3 images come up. I'm going to show you guys all these images. So he said blues and greens. This is definitely a waterfall. So I'm sorry I can't make it any bigger, but you guys will have all of these images inside of your report, and I do run all of them through Google Lens. Do I find the waterfall to be anything relevant to our ghost? No.
Watch me. I might be.
Left hand.
But me.
That's crazy.
There's the left hand he saw. That's crazy that we got a direct answer coming out of imagery. We were asking who this gentleman was. He was a writer, so just so you know, what was he left or right-handed? Jamie actually came up with that question. That's the first time I've ever asked it. First time I've ever obviously seen an answer, because it's the first time we've ever asked it.
Look how clear the hand was.
Wow,
Yeah.
crazy.
Whoa.
I'm
So
impressed
it
that
was-
you knew which handle was.
I
Oh,
had
it's
to
all
go
left.
because
Yeah.
I had to really think for a couple seconds, but yes.
Wow, that's definitely royalty. I'm going to just zoom in on this because the frame is of no matter. At least I don't feel like it is.
That came up on your right, on the.
Yeah.
Dude, that's really. I don't get it.
So,
Look how good. Look how. I mean, yeah.
I mean, I
Where's
zoomed-
that? That's what you saw that?
Mhm.
Yep. All 3 of these images are things that he saw.
What's on her head? Is it,
Did
is
we
it,
say
is it
anything
a
that was
crown?
relevant
Oh my
to
god, that's familiar. What movie is that?
It looks
does look like a
it
movie.
looks like from Alice in Wonderland a little bit.
Yeah.
No.
Did we
remember
say anything that
the
like
movie where the
There was a
ghost
couple of
lived
subtle
in
clues,
the,
so there wasn't any like direct
it was like the
answers
30s
like
world.
to my
Oh,
questions.
Mhm.
We did get the word author, which was super great coming out of you, and then you said the word combat right after. This guy was a poet who wrote about the Civil War because he was on the battlefield. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. The number 7 did come up, and somebody said the number 65. Does that sound familiar to you? So I want to say, like, first off, number 7 is usually relative to Dr. Ladd if he's here, because he was born on July 7th, and obviously we're quickly approaching that. So we normally see double 7s. But 65 is the birth year, and I'm not positive on this, of the author's son. So he was born on Christmas Eve of 1865. So I'm pretty impressed with the 65, very specific number, so I'm pretty happy with that. I would call this slightly successful based off of the images and the things that were coming out in small breadcrumbs later on. I'm pretty okay with this. Like, this was kind of a decent session. I mean, it wasn't that psychic session like I told you guys about, but I'm never going to see that again. Unless, of course, I get her back in the damn hot seat at a different location. Yep. So I'm actually quite pleased with this. I mean, did you get the word live? Yes.
I'm not sure if it matters, but when you said the son's birthday, it was 10.4.
Bingo. So, must be true, right?
What came up?
I did get the word lie that was being spelled out, and you did say lie, lies.
Yes, something came up and it went lie, and I was that seemed very interesting.
What came up with the 65?
So she had a 10.4.
Oh, so that means...
I mean, definitely had a fluctuation of EMF, which is wonderful because we normally see like a lot of flat zeros here, but I have seen triple digits, like in the hundreds at this location. So the fact that we had a little subtle, especially when I brought up the sun, like, I'm okay with that. Like, that's pretty good stuff. So, how do you guys feel now?
Awesome.
How long do you guys feel like you were under?
Forever.
Really? Okay. So most people say 2 to 3 minutes.
It felt long because I was really high.
Oh, fair enough. I'll give you that. Most people, like, I actually kept you guys under a little bit longer because you said, wait, there's more, or something along those lines. But yeah, I kept you under for about 12 minutes. So normally I try to stick to my regimen of 9 to 10 minutes just based on what's going on. And if it's going really well, I'll push it to 12, but I try not to go over 12. But most people feel like it's normally 2 to 3 minutes. So if you guys are feeling okay, I'm going to have you guys stand up so I can set my bag down. Last chance to scan those QR codes.
I did.
You got it? Good.
I did, but you do it also. Just like you should do it too, just in case I'm going to do it.
And then you guys can set your equipment right on top of the bag once I open it up. And I will start giving you guys directions and answer any questions you guys might have. It's the end of our night. Thank you so much. That was very fun. That was fun. I love what I do. I love watching you guys. Jamie, kudos to you, man. That was awesome. Like,
That's
I have
he's
never
a
asked
lefty.
that question
Just
before.
because he's a lefty.
Oh, go ahead and set it down. I'm going to stop this. Yeah, just set everything on there. It only goes in one way. Yeah. Hang on, let me get this.
All right.
Told you.